Driving east on Route 2, just before the Concord Rotary, perhaps you've seen the cross on the hill, or on the popular Bruce Freeman Rail Trail. Maybe you've biked or run past the hillside meadow, shrouded by the tall trees, and wondered, what's up there? In 2 words, the forgotten.
The people buried here in this cemetery, in all prison cemeteries, are people who have died and their families have not claimed their bodies.
Between 1878 and 1996, this was the official cemetery of the nearby Concord State Prison. In all, 218 men, memorialized not by name, but a number.
I was looking for like tombstones and things that you would find in traditional cemeteries. It was kind of disturbing, and too, it was different.
Concord resident Elizabeth Rust and Sam Williams represent Concord Prison Outreach, a nonprofit committed to helping the incarcerated build better lives for themselves and their families. In 2021, they created the Concord Prison Cemetery's Naming the Unnamed project.
The men who were buried here had lives, had families, they had occupation, they served the country.
So this is Abraham Williams. He fought in the Civil War in the 5th Massachusetts Regiment.
An all-black regiment.
An all-black regiment.
And then did serve time here in Concord.
Yes, he had family here in Massachusetts. He had a wife and children, I believe. And sometimes we found that people weren't able to pay for the claiming. Maybe they lived further away. You know, the prison provided the burial services.
The prison itself closed in June 2024, and while the 37-acre site will be redeveloped, the prison cemetery will remain.
We don't invent our history just is, and we need to recognize all aspects of it.
We do a really good job at talking about Minutemen and muskets, right? But not the stories of all the people who built Concord, and the prison and the stories around it are important to understanding sort of the full fabric of the town, I believe.
A town where visitors on a rail trail will soon be able to learn more about that forgotten little hillside cemetery and those who rest here.
This is our history here today, and to embrace that.
Remembrance is also a key part of Robert Megardichian's life. Megardichian's late dad, Abraham Megardichian, was a Cambridge kid who served in the Navy in World War II, then went to work as a machinist at the sprawling General Electric plant in Lynn. For enterprising young workers there, cast-off metal parts and pieces could be cheaply purchased.
He has a very short lunch break. He can take that part that he bought for pennies, and he can mold it from being something that looks like this to something that looks like that. By the time the 70s comes, he really wants to do other things. So he starts making more complicated things.
He did indeed. Drawn to making exquisitely detailed miniatures of everyday objects in a seemingly endless stream of masterful creation, all of it given away.
So he's now making anything he wants for everybody in the family, friends. Let's say you were into sledding. He makes you a sled.
So Robert, a little toolbox.
Architect's rule, carpenter's rule.
God, that's amazing.
Yep.
A violin with strings, the bow. Is that actually, don't tell me.
It's horsehair.
It is horsehair.
A piano with working keys, a golf pull cart with a bag, with a set of clubs.
3-iron?
All in all, decades of breathtaking creation.
It was like a separate career of his.
It took a long time.
And most people didn't see it.
But decades later, that would change. In 1983, at only 59, Abraham Megardichian died. His existing personal collection went into a large crate at his son Robert's home. When Robert, an engineer and architectural consultant, retired, the crate was reopened, and along with it, a reconnection for a son with his dad.
He came up short, so I feel that I owe it to him to kind of like make up for lost time. Let me do something that you didn't get the chance to do.
Which was to share his work more publicly. So today, Robert Megardichian does frequent talks and arranges public exhibits of his dad's work.
I've been on this mission to get his stuff exhibited wherever and whenever I can.
A father's long ago labors of love, now kept alive by a son's own loving labor.
And needless to say, those two rings you just saw there on Robert Megardician's fingers are his dad's creations and gifts. Robert can't say for sure how many miniatures his dad made in total, but he does say that when he opened the crate his dad had left, there were more than 100 inside.